Chapter 13. Eva Marie Taffy meets Ginger Adams. Although they lived relatively close to each other, Eva Marie Taffy rarely saw her only son, Tony. They chatted on the phone a few times a day, and Tony liked to send his mother humorous emails that provided some levity for what seemed to be an endless political campaign. Eva Marie Taffy had developed a reputation as a hard campaigner. She would arrive early and rush through her legislative duties by mid-morning, address a civic group at noon, talk to school kids in the afternoon, guest on drive time radio, and cap the evening off raising funds for her campaign and the campaigns of her fellow eclectic party members. Tony Taffy's days were more stationary, but no less busy. He had dropped out of college at 17 to develop a fast and easy and convenient tool to erase computer hard drives while leaving designated files undamaged. He was able to sell his product to a Silicon Valley company just weeks before a Joseph startup released a similar product at a lower price. He had paid his rent writing blog widgets and cell apps while he slept under his desk and worked 18 hours a day on a security system for home, auto, and office. 2 months ago, Tony attended a tech fair in Las Vegas where he tried to hawk his physical security system to prospective distributors. He had several nibbles, but no one grabbed the bait. However, the trip was not fruitless. He met a 20-year-old woman at a hotel buffet who happened to live 1.2 miles from him. Ginger Adams had been recruited as the booth girl for a Starkville-based startup that Tony had never heard of. Since that meeting, Tony Taffy spent as much time with Ginger Adams as he spent pitching his security system. On this rare Wednesday, when Eva Marie Taffy had her evening free, her son insisted upon meeting her for dinner at a casino in Vicksburg, where she had addressed a gaming organization earlier that day. Now the trio were seated at Mr. Noodle's, a Chinese restaurant that catered mostly to Asian people. This was the original Szechuan Rockwell restaurant developed by a Chinese immigrant who changed his name from Lin Kong to King Kong. King Kong had long since sold his interest in Mr. Noodles when he realized he could make a larger fortune selling his interior designs to Chinese restaurants. Gone were the junk boats, the bamboo hats, and the ubiquitous dragons. They were replaced by folksy drawings of life in the Middle Kingdom. At Mr. Noodles, the patrons were treated to laminated tabletops that featured Shanghai Girl Scouts, an entire village watching a table tennis match, a girl singing karaoke, and a chubby kid practicing kung fu under a mural of Bruce Lee. There were cloth napkins that featured Chinese Olympic heroes, and wallpaper where farmers in golf caps rang in the new year. The motif captured Eva Marie Taffy's attention. The original choice had been the Ribeye Steakhouse, but the wait was 35 minutes. She had never eaten at a King Kong restaurant before, and she took a moment to savor the decor before concentrating on her dinner companions. Eva Marie Taffy had been introduced to Ginger Adams 10 minutes ago outside the Ribeye, some 300 feet away. She noticed two things about the young lady right away. At 5'5", she was 3 inches taller than her son. Tony usually dated petite Asians or pudgy Mexicans. Compared to his usual companions, Ginger Adams reminded Eva Marie Taffy of a Maasai princess. The other thing she noticed about Ginger was that she wore isotoner gloves. She suspected that the poor girl had a skin disorder, perhaps eczema or psoriasis. She took pity on her and silently commended her for taking infection control measures. The girl was thoughtful. Tony Taffy had purchased 4 entrees and an appetizer plate from the counter, and he spread the styrofoam containers around the booth's tabletop along with noodles and steamed rice. Eva Marie Taffy drank water and tea. Tony drank Mountain Dew, and Ginger drank ginger ale. They all used Mr. Noodle's proprietary chopsticks. Eva Marie Taffy noticed that Ginger did not seat herself until her elder had been seated. She did not drink or touch her food until Eva Marie Taffy had done so. She was obviously a product of good breeding. Mom, there's a reason why Ginger is wearing gloves. Show her, Ginger. Fearing a display of exposed wounds, Eva Marie Taffy blurted out, "This can wait till after dinner." "No, it can't, Mom. Show her." And Ginger peeled off her left glove and held up her fingers, twisting at the wrist. Eva Marie Taffy gasped and clutched Ginger's hand. It was soft and delicate. I don't know what to say," Eva Marie Taffy said, choking back the tears. Eva Marie Taffy grew dizzy, and she placed her chopsticks on the table and gave in to her emotions. Yes, she liked the cute Vietnamese angel Tony dated for 2 years, and she liked Marisol, the silent Mexican girl with the oversized bottom. But Tony had found himself an African-American girl who was soft and tender and beautiful. Ginger was a late morning dream. Eva Marie Taffy could not remember ever being blindsided by such good news. Life had repeatedly ambushed her with bad news. She briefly flashed on the time she got the call informing her that her husband and daughter had been killed in an auto accident. And she remembered getting the call about her father, and the call about her sister Lucinda, the call about her brother Ray, the call about her brother Stephen. She had no idea Tony and Ginger were serious. This was the only good surprise of her entire life. Oh, and I should tell you, Mom, Ginger is a charter member of the Starkville chapter of the Thomas Sowell Society. Eva Marie Taffy gasped. "Bless you." "You can bless me, but please don't refer to me as anointed." The women laughed, but Tony did not get the joke, but he added one final comment. "And she wants to start a family right away." Eva Marie Taffy rose from the booth and spread her arms, and Ginger stood up, and they hugged in the aisle. Then she hugged her son, who never for a second dropped his chopsticks. Then she tried to orchestrate a group hug, but Tony insisted that the ritual would have to wait until after dinner. The ladies talked and talked and talked as Tony sampled every ingredient in every dish. They discussed politics and meeting John Joseph and Ginger's new marketing plan for Tony's ever-expanding product line. The giddy evening would conclude on a serious note. "Mom, do you know of anyone who might feel the need to place a GPS beacon under my bumper?" Eva Marie Taffy replied evenly that either one of her political opponents might have done so. Holding up an item the size of a 9-volt battery, he stated, "If I wasn't in the security business, I wouldn't have caught this." The two women nodded in unison. "If they try more spycraft, I will catch them in the act." The two women smiled, but these were not the effortless smiles that arose earlier. They were reminded that Eva Marie Taffy was tangling with a pack of Goliaths, and the Goliaths were playing for keeps. Sobriety had once more raised its ugly head.